Somewhere in the bowels of the city that never sleeps.
Kevin McCullough, radio host with Salem Media.
Is a man also not sleeping.
Syndicated radio talk show host Kevin McCullough.
And that guy would like a word with you.
Many of you know him as Nostradamus.
Of course that Kevin show is going to be great. The only thing that could be greater, of course, would be that Donald show. But we don't have that, so we have that Kevin show.
Featuring the music of Dick Tunney and the Dream in Color Orchestra. And tonight on That Kevin Show, she wants every legal vote counted. Carrie Lake, and she's unafraid. He's a tall man who must be stopped, Peter Young. She's all about the murders in the building, Selena Gomez. And the spotlight tonight, under the stars, it's Coldplay. Now, from Times Square, where the former mayor is now on Tinder, ladies, here's that Kevin.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw the icky Tinder profile of former Mayor de Blasio, who came out this week and basically said that he and his wife are they're going to stay married, but they're going to see other people. And I think every person on planet Earth went, who wants to see you two? Anyway, welcome to Saturday. We've got a lot to get to tonight. We're calling this the Cocaine in the White House edition, special edition, because it is so unusual to have a substance like cocaine appear in the White House. I don't know if you're aware of this or not. I've been to the White House half a dozen times, maybe. And I will tell you that to do anything at the White House, to get anything into the White House, including my phone, my laptop, anything that I would have needed to do my broadcast or to do a story from the White House, it was like having surgery on a very sensitive part of your body. It was like they went to places that nobody else had gone before, and they have to do that because it's such a high security area. The leader of the free world does reside at the White House, and for people to have cocaine at the White House, to me, is a really harsh reality that we're dealing with here at the end of this week, at the end of the week of 4th of July, no less. But I want to turn your attention to something. There's lots of questions about where the cocaine came from and who it belonged to and how it could possibly have ended up where it ended up, which was not where they wanted us to think that it ended up. But let's go back through the week and watch how the White House themselves dealt with this. This is from Karine Jean-Pierre's press conference, I believe, on July the 5th.
Can you give any more details on where the Secret Service found cocaine in the West Wing and how it got there?
So, as you know, this is under the purview of the Secret Service. They are currently investigating what happened over the weekend, so I would have to refer you to the Secret Service on all of this. But one thing that I can share, that I'll share a little bit more information. As you know, the president and the first lady and their family were not here this weekend, as you all reported on this, and as you also know that they left on Friday and returned just yesterday.
I want you to see what she's doing here. This is the, I'm not going to answer your question, and I'm also going to offer information you did not ask for that is completely irrelevant to the topic. The question was very simple. Do you have an update on who the Secret Service believes brought the cocaine into the White House? And she said, it's the Secret Service's purview. It's their investigation. I'm not going to speculate. But now I'm going to speculate, and I want you to speculate, because I'm going to tell you, you know that the first family wasn't here from Friday to Tuesday. Well, yeah, it was discovered on Sunday. It was left there at some point prior to Sunday. At some point in time, somebody left it there. That doesn't mean anything. The first family could have been right there, been gone just like they were. It would not have mattered if a presidential family member had left it there. They left it there. She also went on to directly lie to the American people. Take a listen.
Where this was discovered is a heavily traveled area where many White House, West Wing, I should be even more specific, West Wing visitors come through this particular area. I just don't have anything more to share. It is under investigation by the Secret Service. This is.
So she's not going to tell us anything because it's the Secret Service's investigation. But what we want you to know is that it was in an area where anybody could have put it there. Or so we want you to think. And so was the official narrative. AP and a whole bunch of people picked this up. Oh, it's in a high trafficked area. Oh, it's in a place where the tours go through. Oh, it's very unlikely that anybody from the official White House could have done this because it was in such a place where so many people come through. Actually, that's not true. Where it ended up being found that the White House tried to lie about was not in a place where lots of staff and tourists always were. It was found in the library of the private residence. And our colleague here at Salem Communications, Sebastian Gorka, who served in the Trump White House, said a little bit this week on his show about the types of security that the place has. He was on the White House staff. He worked at the White House. He was in the private residence's library once in 4 years. That is not a place where just everybody's going through. And, oh, well, you know, somebody just dropped a dime bag. Like they weren't searched before they came in as visitors. They didn't have their bags gone through and go through metal detectors and have things looked at for any type of suspicious elements. So Karine Jean-Pierre is passing on untruth. Whether she thought she was lying or not, I'm going to leave that for someone else to determine. But it was not true. And this was the story that they were coming up with.
Say once and for all whether or not the cocaine belonged to the Biden family.
So, a couple of things there. There has been some irresponsible reporting about the family. So to ask that question is actually incredibly irresponsible. I'll just leave it there.
Again, she's not denying that it's not the family's coke. Kevin McCullough. Hi, Kevin McCullough. This week we have had a very exciting development in our slave liberation campaign. I don't know if you were listening to the radio show on Monday, but the offices of CSI notified us that we have a matching challenge for this week. Every slave that we liberate, and thus far this year we have been fortunate to liberate 72 of the 192 total. That leaves 120 that still need to be liberated. But of those remaining 120, for everyone that we liberate before the end of this week, a private donor is going to come along and say, okay, I'm going to match every one of those. Now, how does it work? Well, we've talked about it kind of simply. It's a $250 one-time gift or any combination that adds up to that. So if you have a small group or a group of friends that want to get together and you all can put in $50 each and you make $250, then it's going to liberate one person. Maybe you're a family and you as a family want to all chip in. $250 will liberate one slave from Sudan and be able to relocate her back to southern Sudan, where she was taken captive, most likely during the Sudanese Civil War. During that time, there were as many as 185,000 women and children that were taken captive by the northern portion of Sudan at the time. And when the world leaders came together and decided to end the war and create South Sudan for a safe refuge for those Christians living down there, they didn't do anything about the slaves. All the world powers came together and said, okay, here's the end of the war. We've divvied up the land, but nobody went and got the slaves. That's why my friends at Christian Solidarity International have been doing this for the last number of years. And thanks to your generosity with partnering with us over the last couple of years, we've been able to liberate about 3,000 slaves, just you and I working together. This year, our goal is 192. 72 have been spoken for. 120 still remain. We need you to participate with us right now, because every time you do,
someone else is coming alongside and saying, I'm going to liberate a life as well. Here's where you go. You go to bringherhome.org, bringherhome, all one word, .org, or you can dial 888-342-1010, 888-342-1010. You hear me give that phone number on the show all the time, but that's the number that you call. It takes about 2 minutes to get it all done, and so if you could just carve out a piece of time right now, and whether it's a 5-month gift of $50 a month, or 2 months at $125, or a one-time gift of $250, you're liberating a life. Someone just like this girl right here, who was liberated by some of you just 2 years ago in our slave liberation project. So would you please help bring her home? We need your help right now. 888-342-1010 or bringherhome.org. Kevin McCullough saying thank you for considering.